CanAms are notorious for spinning a spline in the rear axle or stripping out the final drive because they let mud and everything else inside the final drive gear and they rust up real bad, and then it eats away at the final drive and you'll end up spinning one. I got a weird vibration probably like two rides ago, and I've been chasing it down, rephased the drive shaft, found the bent front axles, changed those. I changed those before I phased the drive shaft, and the vibration got better, but it still didn't go away. I rephased the drive shaft and it got a little bit better, but it still didn't completely go away. So I was pulling it apart to do maintenance on it. Wanted to pull the rear CVs to see what was going on back there. In my picket video, on the one climb that I rolled on, I watched back the video and heard a really loud crack when the tire stuck, and I was a little worried that I might have spun a CV inside the final drive. Come to find out, it looks like, and these axles are in rough shape, but because I haven't done anything since I bought it, it's got 850 miles on it now. I'm sure those have never been pulled and greased or anything, so obviously I'm going to do that. But let's see if I can set this up here. So you have the in and out movement of that CV on both sides, and my driver's side rear, I do not have that movement. So I think that's where my vibration's coming from. Obviously the CV's bad, so I got to change an axle. But I want to give you a look at what the inside of this final drive gear looks like. It is nasty in there. There was clumps of mud, old grease, just nastiness in there. So my plan now is to get that all cleaned out, and got a new axle ordered, waiting for it to come. I don't know if I'm going to change them both to aftermarkets, or if I'm going to try to find a stock one. Stock ones are really hard to find. CanAm likes to sell them with just the shaft and without the CV on, so you have to change everything. So probably easier and less expensive for me just to throw rhinos in it. The front's held up to everything I've put at them so far, so for the money I can't really beat them. Right now I'd rather CVs break before anything else anyways. So, but that's the plan. I'm gonna set up a time lapse of me cleaning these up and cleaning the inside of the final drive. I did forget to mention, axles were pretty stubborn to come out. I soaked them down with Aero Croil. I don't know if you guys know what any of this is, but it's aircraft grade penetrating oil. Some good stuff. But I soaked them down a couple days ago and then let it sit, and last night I tried pulling the axles and they were not coming out. The driver's side one, I didn't have any room with that CV being bad internally. I couldn't push the axle in and slam it to get it out. The passenger side, I worked on it, wasn't moving. I soaked them down like 4 times last night through the night. Every probably 30 minutes I soaked them down. Went to work today, came home, was gonna give it a shot and see what happened. Pushed the passenger side in and yanked on it, and it moved like a 1/16 of an inch. So I knew I was getting somewhere. So it probably took me 5 or 6 slams, some pretty decent slams, and it popped out. The driver's side, I could not get it out by yanking on it. So I actually used my air hammer with a long bit and went from the back side and had the wife hold on to the other side of it and just tapped it a couple times, and she popped out. All right, well, I failed at recording this. I didn't think it was gonna go quite as good as it went, so I figured I'd try it out and see what happened, but it actually went really good. So the passenger side wheel bearing on my machine took quite a few hits, and after getting home and assessing everything and whatever, finding the bad inner CV joint on the driver's side, while I had it jacked up, I was checking the passenger side, and wheel had a ton of play in it. So obviously wheel bearing. So I'll give you a breakdown of what I did for wheel bearing removal, waiting on rear axles to come in and kryptonite wheel bearings to come in. So kind of waiting on parts. So just getting it ready to put it back together. So I'll show you guys the wheel bearing real quick. Pretty rough shape. Just full of dirt and nastiness. I don't even know. Tons of play in it, but it was nasty. So, and I have greased them after every ride. So, and mud, dirt, everything gets in there. So, but with the riding that I do, they take a lot of hits, side hits and stuff like that. So it's kind of to be expected. So, but what I did, so here's the knuckle all cleaned up and everything. But I'm gonna be a kind of breakdown what I did here. So this socket, it is a 1.75 inch, fits damn near perfectly through there to press the bearing out. So obviously there's a snap ring that holds that in. You remove it, use a flathead screwdriver and a pick to get it out. The snap ring here, once I got that out, I took it over to my trusty old rusty brake rotor that pretty much fits about perfectly over that to let the wheel bearing come out. But put the brake rotor there, set this up here, use my 1.75 inch socket, set it on top of the wheel bearing, use my, I don't even know what weight, I don't know, mini sledge, and smacked her out, slid right out. After that, used a Scotch-Brite pad to clean it up and tested to see how I was going to put it back together. And I think it's 2-inch socket. Yeah, 2-inch socket fits almost perfectly on the bearing to press her back in when I get the new one. Worst case, you can use 2x4 something to get it started. Once you get it flush with the end of the steering or the end of the knuckle, then you'll have to use the socket to push it the rest of the way in to get it to where you can get the snap ring back in. But we got her hubs off, ready for the new axles. When they get here, gonna use white lithium grease to grease her up good. The driver's wheel bearing still good, no play in it. Went ahead and greased it while I had it apart. I used the CA Tech grease tool. It works phenomenal. I actually bought off of Amazon. I don't even know what brand it was. It wasn't even that much cheaper. It was like, I don't know, $5 or $10 cheaper than the CA Tech. It was the first one I seen, bought it, and it fit like shit. Didn't pump grease into the bearing. It pushed it out and blew the O-ring off of it and whatever. So I went ahead and ordered the CA Tech one, and it works phenomenal. And no, I don't get paid by anybody to advertise any of this shit. It's just shit that makes my life easier. I went to school for power sports repair and do all my own repairs, all my own upgrades.